GMA says let's ban. UTAC says let's ban. The Minerals Commission CEO says that if you ban totally, that is unfair, and that there are people in there doing good work and raking in revenue for the state. You are on the ground. And 4 days ago, I'll come back to that. I saw a story you did from a town called Cobra Town also. And I was so mad. Or the ban being called by GMA and UTAC stop what is happening.
It will provide a briefing space, which is needed at this time. Even in war, when you know your men are so tired, you retreat. You regroup, you re-strategize, and you move forward again. So I think the rivers and streams need a breathing space. The forests need a breathing space. As a country, we all need time to reflect. Let's pause the mining and let's sit down and reflect. Currently, I heard Prof talking about who is doing legal and who is not doing legal mining. Currently, there is no distinction. You can't differentiate the legal miners from
illegal miners.
Because I'm yet to see any legal miner at the moment. I tried searching because I wanted to get best practices to report on. I asked the small-scale miners themselves to show me those who are doing legal mining. It took them some time to even give me a name. And that name they gave me, the person was not interested in me covering his activities. Do you know what he told me? He said, these days we don't go according to what is in the books. So if you film it, definitely there will be problems. So he's not doing the right thing.
Even the
on
only
the ground.
person,
the only person they were able to give me was not doing the right thing. So he didn't want me to film his activities. What I'm saying is that we have laws. We have stated in those laws. We have environmental guidelines, which tells us how to do the mining. So we are not saying that we shouldn't mine. We'll mine as a country. We definitely mine. But how do we mine? What methodology are we using? What are the environmental impact assessments we've done on those? Air quality, water quality, and all that. Do we even have geological data to point us to where the ore is so that we don't mine blindly like we're doing at the moment?
Like I was saying the last time, you need to have that information so that you know exactly where you are digging.
And so currently, we are digging blindly almost everywhere.
It's a trial.
There is the belief that when it rains, it washes the topsoil and everything to the nearest wetland or river or stream. And so the gold is deposited in wetlands and river bodies. And that is why we are digging almost every wetland and every river to mine for gold. So seriously, any serious country at this time will pause the mining, reflect, come back, streamline things. And if we want to mine, put a clear strategy and plan on how we want to mine. What methods we want to use. Yes, people have been mining. Ghanaians have expressed interest in getting into some of these reserves to mine, just like the Newmonts and other people have gone into forest areas to mine. But we have to ask ourselves, which forest do we want to degrade? Because once you get into the area, you can't get it back.
And Erastus, talking about the degradation of the forest, this week, one of the most shocking things, I actually thought the law has not been passed, the LI 2462.
I've been talking about it for how many years now? Since 2022 when it was enacted.
I don't know how I missed it, And reading about them, I was so sad that even if I hung Parliament, where we expected a lot of scrutiny, we said that we can mine in our forest reserves when the president okays it. And most shockingly, when we read the expose of the four first states, and I know you support them in this work and all that, in the last 2 years, in fact, their data shows that from 1992 to 2016, only 5 companies were allowed to enter our forest. When this law was passed, even before the law passed, there were applications at the Minerals Commission where between 2022 and 2023, 10 companies.
I have been naming, I don't know whether you've been following my reports. I've been naming companies that have taken advantage of this law to enter the forest reserves. Check my reports on YouTube. I've been talking about them. I have the list here. I can mention some of them to you. You know, some of them have hit the ground running. They are in the forest. Some of them are doing exploration activities as we speak. The Draw River Forest Reserve is one of them. The license was given after the enactment of this guideline. You see, it's an amendment to the original guideline. The original guideline indicates and sets limits as to where we can mine and where we cannot mine. It tells you that protected forests are off limits, red zones. You can't go there. Biodiversity areas, red zones. You can't go there. No mining in those areas.
Even in the rivers, they tell you a buffer zone. Don't
Government
go to the buffer
has
zone.
a buffer zone policy, which indicates which distance you are supposed to take away from a major river, a stream.
None of it is followed.
And we don't follow any of them. So, in fact, when you look at the Draw River thing, they've been giving about 80% of it to mine.
One company.
Yes, one company. And though there are demarcations, how they are supposed to mine, which areas they are supposed to mine.
Erastus, is it a company linked to the parliamentary candidate of the MPP in the Jaben area?
I have not checked the owners, but Better Land Ghana Services has that right. It's been given the Draw River Forest Reserve. Now, even before Better Land will start mining, because currently I know they are doing exploration. They've sent me footages. When I did the story, they sent me footages of how they are doing their own exploration, which I think is good. They are using prospecting, they are using drilling machines and all that. But there's another company that has gone behind them. They can't wait. So they've gone behind them with excavators and they have started clearing part of the forest to mine illegally. You see, there's a certain trend, and I've noticed it on the ground. They've skewed the licensing regime to favor a few, and in many cases, they are cronies, to the extent that when you apply and you want to follow due process in getting the license, so you wait patiently, you want to get the EPA, the Water Resources Commission licenses and everything before you start mining. They look at your data and they see that, oh, there is so much gold over there. Then they give it to their cronies, they go behind you and they start mining illegally. And because these are the powerful people who control the military and other things, nobody can stop them. That is why 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, the Tananya Forest Reserve, the only company that has been given, and that was also after the amendment of that guideline, is Clean Jobs. Now, the first time I reported on it, this was an NPP executive.
What's the name of the company?
Clean Jobs.
So Clean Jobs, and they are doing...
No, Clean Jobs has the legal right, the mining right, but they are not mining.
Oh, okay.
They are, let me say, following the rules. They want to get everything before they start mining.
So they are the owners of the large scale concession.
Yes, in that forest.
Yeah, okay.
But another person, and he's an NPP executive. I won't mention the name because of one reason. But I called him personally, and he did not confirm or deny. And on the ground, they told me he's the one who took the Chinese to the forest. He has cleared a large part of that forest, mined it already, with a blessing. And I say with the blessing of the Forestry Commission, because you see, they knew about the excavators entering the forest long before the guy started mining, but they did not stop them. They don't do that because they get their cut. So when you start mining, you give them something. They allow it to go for a period to get some money before they stop you, and then they come around as if they are doing some firefighting regime, and then giddy.
You see, Erastus, when I listened to you, I think last Saturday you were on News File, and I listened to Mr. Isi of the Minerals Commission. They seem to have given up.
He has not given up. That man, I excuse me, I get angry when I listen to him.
Exactly, the same feeling.
And my problem with the president is that he has allowed such people to still stay in office. You see, when people have failed woefully to prevent the pillaging of our forests, and all rivers are this bad, you allow the Environmental Protection Agency, the one heading it, to still stay in office. You allow these people to still stay in office because why? You like what they do.
Exactly. It's a tacit approval of their work. That's it.
Who
It's a
does
tacit
that?
approval of
That's
their
the only
work.
explanation
Because you
you
see,
can give.
when you follow Erastus's work, and I always say this on radio, you follow what the fourth estate is doing. We have mayors of cities doing it. We have parliamentary candidates. I mean, these are people.
DCs,
The
MCs,
president
everybody.
knows them. What happened to your dancing Bosumefre?
In the coming days, I will show you evidence that the people that the companies that Fourth Estate has named and said they have applied for licenses and they are waiting to get concessions in these areas, they are already on the ground mining. I'm telling you.
And in fact, the fourth estate was saying that some details, because of the expose, some details on the website to the Minerals
They've been removed.
have been deleted.
But I can tell you on authority that these companies, some of them have started mining already, and I know where they are. We have evidence of day mining in those areas. In due course, we'll bring them. But to land on that forest, the Tananya forest, after that MPP executive invaded the forest, others have also invaded another part of that forest, eating about over 10 football fields of the forest. And these are NPP top people. As we speak, their excavators have been, the Forestry Commission have allowed them to move their excavators. They are parked in certain villages close to Inche. We track them to certain villages. They are still parked there as we speak. They are waiting for the brouhaha and to die down.
Go, yeah.
And then they come back to the forest and start the degradation.
Prof, Leon, come back. Prof,